Good afternoon. We're on the restaurant podcast with a special guest. I met Nancy about a month ago, and I've used her service for about, 2 weeks in a row. And so I wanted her to come on because I want more people to know what's going on in our city. And Nancy has been a franchise owner for a while, so she's had a cycle of how everything's working in her location. So Nancy, tell our viewers who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
So my name is Nancy Glass, and I am the owner of Clean Eatz, which is a healthy meal plan and cafe in Norcross. We're located at 3975 Holcomb Bridge Road, right across from Ace Hardware. And what we do is we provide healthy meals that are affordable to the community so that everyone can eat healthier and feel better. It's a hard process to do that on your own. And so that is our purpose, is to create community and let everybody be able to experience a healthier life.
Yeah, when a resident told me about you, it was like she was a raving fan. I couldn't wait to go back and look it up and see what she was talking about. That's how passionate she was about sharing the information. Then when you came on my podcast, I thought that that the concept, well, besides your personality, it was magnetic. It's just like it was like the perfect storm of good things coming together. And before I ask you the first question is, I have a friend that offers franchises, like 1,000 franchises. So I saw I hadn't talked to him in a while, and I said, "Hey, you want to come on my podcast?" And he said, "Sure. Can we talk about what you were looking for?" So we talked, and I said, "I got one question. Do you represent Clean Eatz?" He goes, "Yes." I said, "Oh my gosh, we're gonna have a fun time." So we talked about that. It was so right for the market with what's going on. So I would love you to share with, you've been involved and how long with your franchise?
Since 2019, and I've been open for the past 3 years. So I started the journey, signed the contract, the agreement in 2019, and then started build out. Took me close to a year to find a location. And I love where I am. Centrally located, et cetera, to so many different places, so many cities. But then I have customers will drive an hour and a half to come because there's not anything near them. And they'll bring a cooler and we'll put meals in and they're on their way,
Yeah.
So open for 3 years, but as a franchisee since 2019.
So let's go back, because I know there's three things we want to cover this morning, but why, when you were out there looking and you're looking to transition from the corporate world to your own, what were you looking for when you were in that process of discovery and checking out things?
Well, I think, for anybody and probably a lot of people that are watching or listening are interested in, owning their own business or a franchise. Getting with a consultant is really, I think, to me, is a asset, and you don't pay them anything. They get that from whoever franchise you land on. But it's really looking at, your talents and your skill set. While you're not physically necessarily doing everything in the business, you need to know how to do it. And I do. I can run the whole thing by myself if I could just clone myself.
Yeah.
But you've got to look at, my background is in adult education and TV and media marketing, developing people. So the overarching reason why I wanted to get into a franchise is to own my own business, to make a difference in the world. And in that, under that umbrella of make a difference, it's always been close to my heart in my corporate world to leave whoever was in my seminars with a message of that they could do better. They, there's the human nature and the ability that we have is never completely tapped into, I don't believe. And I think I mentioned to you last time that I was a marathon runner, and I always got the magazine Runner's World. And there's one section that they have every single month, and it was ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And they would have topics like an 84-year-old man completed a marathon for his first time ever running. And it just it made me think, we as human beings don't know our complete potential. And
Yep.
so I want to be able to do that. And then on a side note, as owning your own business, it's your staff. I want to create an environment where they are congratulated for their work. You know, a lot of people in a corporate world, you have to be a self-starter and you have to be self-motivated and you have to pat yourself on the back because there's nobody there to do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a remote worker, so I was traveling all over, and my boss was, we saw each other maybe a couple times a year. And we talked to each other on the phone, but you have to motivate and drive yourself. So I wanted to be able to create that environment with my team. And also, whether they stay with me for a lifetime or they move on, that they look back and they think their time at Clean Eatz Norcross is the best they had in terms of their training, the appreciation, and, obviously their compensation. And then, what better way to do that? I didn't have any thought process about going into a restaurant because restaurant business is tough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's, it's funny because when I was talking to Jonathan, he said, he has all kinds of franchises. And so he says to people that he's introducing, say, Clean Eatz to, you have to like the restaurant business. And I told him, I said, who likes the restaurant business? It's the hardest business out there. It's like, it'll test everything you ever can imagine because you're dealing with so many factors that every day it changes. I mean, it's like you wake up, you think you got it all together, then 2 employees don't show up.
You know all too well, Pete. You know all too well. And then you
Yeah.
don't get
Oh, yeah.
My general manager texted me and she said, we don't have buns. It didn't come on the truck. And so I'm like, call our neighboring Clean Eatz and ask them if we can borrow some buns until we get another truck on Monday, and trying to explain that to customers. We still don't have the ability, I think, when we shop as consumers to get the things that we want since COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't understand really why until you're in the thick of it like we are now. I mean, it's just random stuff. And we forecast these things 9 weeks ahead, and still it'll be, oh, it didn't find itself on the truck, or they didn't have it to put on the truck. I mean, that's just one instance. And then, you've got people. I had somebody that called out yesterday because she was sick, and you can't come in. Sorry. Even if you're, strong-willed and you want to, we can't have you around anything with food when you're sick. So everybody has to just, pitch in even more.
Yeah.
But I do think that, because I would have never gotten into the restaurant business. This is a different model. And my friends were like, are you crazy? I'm like, yeah, I'm crazy, but I'm crazy passionate about things. I love talking to the customers. I love cooking. I love being on the grill, and I don't like to cook at home. So
Yeah.
I'm in the restaurant business, but I don't really like to cook. And a lot of customers that come to us are exactly the same way. They're busy moms, parents, or even a senior community that's just like, what, I'm done with this cooking thing, or I live alone and I don't want to cook, and so we provide that option for everybody, and we make it easy. And then the other thing is the community. So unlike most restaurants, we were talking earlier before we jumped on, my customers are friends. And it's not that they were friends, it's that they became friends because of, how I want, when you walk in the doors of Clean Eatz Norcross, I want you to feel like you're important because you are. You're the reason why we're here. Mm-hmm. And I remind my staff every day, that one person that walks in your door, right? If they turn around and walk out, they've said, I'm not giving you your paycheck this week. How would you feel about that? Right. So every single person that walks in that exchanges money for food is paying you. And we need to act accordingly. We need to be grateful for that, because without them, we would have closed doors.
That attitude right there goes so far because, when you're in your own business, your paycheck is signed by your customers. I had a corporate guy, he spent his years with Comcast, and I said, so he's now doing his own business. And I said, that's a scary thing when you exchange a guaranteed paycheck for nothing. You look in the mirror in the morning, you don't create value that day, you don't get paid.
Nope.
So it takes guts is what it does.
Well, you may not be able to pay the bills,
but it takes
keep the lights on.
Yeah. Right? I mean, it's like you wake up, you have to perform every day. You
every
can't like
moment.
say, I'm going to take off today. It doesn't work that way.
No.
So I love how you said that you have become community your with your customers. So did you notice that? How soon did it take you to like grasp that concept that Clean Eats is really a community? What was it like before you bought it or after you bought it?
Well, whether or not it was, that's what I wanted it to be. So
Okay.
I have a larger cafe than most, a larger footprint. I wanted that because I wanted people to be able to have space that they could come in and socialize, spend time. I have a group of women that come in and knit. They
Oh,
have food.
really?
Yep, and that's their lunch. They come in, they have lunch together, and they have fellowship, and they knit. And I go over and check out what they're knitting. I'm like, oh my god, that's so, they're doing sweaters or they're doing scarves for
Yeah.
the holiday season or whatever. I have a local real estate agent, and he comes in, brings his laptop, sits, eats, works. I have another woman that she has an online business and she sells jewelry, and she has her specific booth that she comes in and she is online selling jewelry and eating her lunch. And that's that's just a snippet of it. But I wanted people to know that you're important and we appreciate you. And I wanted to also set up through Clean Eats, especially coming outside of COVID. I think that was so tough on everybody to be isolated like that. And we opened not not during closings, right? But we opened right after that piece hit the restaurants in at the Atlanta market. So it was masks and making people feel really confident that everything was super, super clean and safe for them to come in. And I think that was a welcoming to them, is like, I can get out now and I can talk to a real person, still at a distance. And, now it's like, are you, when somebody walks in and they're not having their best day, I'm like, do you need a hug? Because we can now.
Yeah, yeah, that is so
Yeah,
cool. I
that's
love that you were telling that story before we actually went on the air, and it's those kind of little things I think in life that separate yourself from others, because it seems like today we're so busy being busy, we don't see those little things. We
right.
just kind of overlook them, but that's what makes you different than the other person that misses it, because you can tell when a person's not having a good day. I mean, if you're looking, but
Right. If you're
if
paying
you're not
attention.
looking, it goes right over your head.
It's a
So
difference of going through the motions, because
yes,
I can walk out as an owner and sweep the restaurant. I mean, look at the restaurant. Is everybody taken care of? Where are they in their food? Talk to my front of house person. Have you checked in with everybody? I'm like, within a couple of minutes after they've had a couple of bites, it's like, go over there and find out, do they need anything? Does everything tastes good? But I could just go out there and walk out there and look, and then go back in my office and head down. But again, you have a lot of things that you need to do as an owner offset, but your priority is your staff and your customers. I mean, you can't do it without them. So
yes,
you got to show the love. And if it means, I come home and I work till 10 or 11 o'clock at night, then so be it. That's what I need to do. And that is, as you said, that's the difference in possibly corporate world versus owning your own business. You do it until it's done.
right.
Yeah.
Because you love it. Because we were talking about, for the viewers that didn't see the previous podcast, I think I don't know how the words I said, but it was something to the effect, I could bottle your energy and make a fortune. So I'll be your distributor of energy, because I want to put that in a bottle and go out there and sell it, because it is contagious. When you're around you are just like, you exude energy. So let's tell our viewers, because if you eat the right foods, that certainly helps. So
Absolutely. 100%.
so and I noticed, because I haven't been to your store, but the one in Ackworth with
Mhm.
Brittany,
Yeah.
I always watch when I'm going into places, just watching. So the crowd, it seems like that I'm seeing a lot of, are like gym people that are concerned with what they put in their body. So are you seeing the same thing over there? Because that seems like they're dialed into the nutritional piece of health.
That
Can you comment on that?
the franchise was founded by two bodybuilders, Don and Yvonne Barde. So that's where the concept originated. Is when gym rats, bodybuilders, people that go work out a lot, they typically meal prep on Sundays themselves.
Mhm.
But what I found in my location, I still have gym people. I have competitive bodybuilders, I have a pro boxer. They understand the importance of following, your macros, which are your macronutrients, your carbs, your protein, and your good fats for brain health. But more so, and I think, this is from being in the community and talking to different people as well, is that it's really for everybody. That's why we say it's a lifestyle, because
Mhm.
young parents, singles, professional business people that travel a lot, people on vacation will come and get our meals. So they may go up in the hotel room while they're on vacation and pop some meals in the microwave and save some money, and then and then go out to dinner, right, that evening. So there's so many facets to what we can do to provide healthy food in an affordable way, but make your life really, really easy.
And that's
So
so key
it's
today.
everybody.
Mhm. And the price point, which I was glad to see, because I'm right around the corner from Publix. So I used to buy their meals to go.
Mhm.
I got tired of the same thing over and over. If I ate another broccoli and chicken entree, I think I'm going to explode, because there's just a few items over and over again. With you guys, it's such a variety. It's almost like you can't wait to see what the assortment for the week is, because it's completely different than the previous week. So what are your customers saying about that variety and being able to come in and pick?
So what we're talking about is that we have meal plans, and I brought like
Mhm.
this so you can see it.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Hang on, that.
Yeah, that's good.
That.
Our next
so,
one we can
so
put
this is
in.
this week's menu, and
Okay.
there's 5 entrees and a breakfast. And then if you go online, because we were talking about the ease of this too, just go to
Yes.
cleaneatz.com, and wherever you're viewing from, it will geolocate a cafe that's near you.
Okay.
So you can. The process is simple. There's add-ons on the back. There's a premium. So this week the premium is a brisket con queso pasta. It is so delicious. It's smoked
Mhm.
brisket. It is. I could just eat it like.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then for the spring and the summer, we've transitioned from a homemade soup to now a salad. So it's grilled buffalo chicken salad, and then we always do a custom pizza. It can be a cauliflower crust if you need to avoid gluten, or we may be using a wheat, so it'll delineate which of those are. This is the barbecue brisket pizza because we have a premium meal, so why not have a brisket pizza too?
Right.
Yeah. So so every week there's a new menu that comes out from the franchise, and nutritionists and dietitians are part of that. So it's a balance of your macronutrients, but you can also order them with extra protein. And that's really important. I think, when we're looking at the 55 plus community, we may not eat regularly enough, right? We
Mhm.
skip things. Well, I'm not really hungry right now, but it's so important to feed your body on a regular basis, even if it's just small meals. And these look small when they're in that package, but literally when you take them out and put them on a plate,
Oh,
it's a full meal.
yeah, it
Yeah,
is. It's like you're not going to go away hungry,
no.
because it is a full meal. It's literally, I don't know what percentage of the ones versus I just know Publix is it's like it's so much more. And I'm really, when I finish, I'm full. I mean,
Mhm.
or it'd be like, I need to get something else. I'd throw something else in there.
Yeah,
So
and
it's well thought out.
I've eaten frozen meals in the grocery store, and the calorie wise, they're low, like 200, 300, and then sodium's high. That's
Yeah.
like, you don't need that. You need some more calories. And I think that's also for people that maybe, again, looking in the community that we're speaking to right now with the 55 plus community, a lot of times I hear, people are like, I need to lose weight. I need to lose weight. Even my mom, she was like, I need to lose weight. She'll skip meals and then make bad choices on the next meal because now she's really hungry.
Yep.
And you're just, you're chasing your tail the whole time. So it's understanding how many calories that you really need. Because if you skimp on, like, let's say carbs are your energy. Now, you don't want to make your full meal of carbs because carbs turn to sugar, which turns to fat easier. But you need to have carbs. If you're feeling sluggish, maybe you're not eating enough. Protein is muscle development. And of course, they say at this age, we can't develop more, but you got to keep what you got. Because if you don't, I've looked at MRIs and cross sections of the, the thigh, you lose that muscle and it's taken over by fat. And then we have balance issues, right? And we want to stay as healthy as possible. It is, doing some weight training, some balance, and then eating enough protein. And then you can't skip on fat, but it's good fat, because good fat's for your brain.
Right.
And sometimes we say we have senior moments. Well, it really can boil down to, are you eating good fat and hydration? Because I've watched firsthand somebody dehydrated that had symptoms of Alzheimer's. And they didn't have Alzheimer's. It was because they were so dehydrated that, the electrical current in our body couldn't get, from the brain to the mouth to be able to speak properly.
Yeah. It's so, the old adage, you are what you eat. And I think in a 55 and older, it's very difficult to cook for one. And to be able to, it's like what I love about Clean Eatz, it's a balanced, well thought out nutritional strategy for a person. And that way you get variety, you get different things. It's like I don't have to figure out this whole game of and you go in the grocery store, marketers are marketers. And a word doesn't mean what it really is. If it says lean cuisine and people think, okay, it must be lean. No, you got to read the label, and you can spend all day reading labels in a grocery store because it's almost like you have to figure it all out.
But you need a degree in chemistry.
Yeah, exactly. But all you do with Clean Eatz, tell our viewers the ease of ordering. I love your system.
Yeah. So one of the things when you go into a cafe is that we will ask you, if you want to sign up for meal plans. There's no contracts or subscriptions. So all we're doing is we're taking your email so we can send you a clickable link once a week to the menu. And that's what you do, Pete. We were talking about that. You click on that link, it takes you right to the website, and then the meal plan menu is laid out for you, and you just input how many you want. And the more you order, the more the cost goes down. So if you do 21 meals, your meals are $6.52 each, or $137 for 21 meals. And I tell people, like, most often we can beat your grocery bill, right? Yes. And if you're single, if you're living alone, you go to the grocery store, you buy fresh fruit and vegetables and things like that. By the time you get around to using it, it's bad. So so you throw it away. Or let's say, somebody invites you out for dinner and you go to dinner and then, I needed to eat this tonight because it was about to spoil. There, you've lost that money. So, and then too, if I gave you $137 and said, go buy food to make 21 meals, you can't do it.
No possible.
And so that's the beauty about having the buying power of 100 plus cafes, is that we can share that savings onto our customer so that, our pricing is pretty alongside of a drive-through. I mean,
right. And
that's what we want, so that everybody, no matter what your walk of life, has the ability to come in and eat healthy, feel better. And you and I, we were talking earlier, I had a customer call me. He has my personal number. That's how community we are.
Yeah.
From the get-go. He had, I hadn't seen him in a while. And he said, I've got this story I've got to tell you. And I said, what? What's going on, Keith? He said, well, I've been having these episodes with my blood sugar. He said, it happened last year. My blood sugar was 800. And the doctor called me and said, you got to go to the hospital. And he's like, he owns his own business. And he's like, I don't have time for that. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah. And until they said, you possibly could die. Then he's like, okay, I'll go to the hospital.
Yeah, I think that's an option I don't want.
Yeah, maybe I'll go. So this year he had this similar episode, and blood sugar was 500. So they were going to put him on insulin, but they didn't have any in the office. So he had to come back 2 days later. In the meantime, he said, you know what? I'm getting back on the wagon. So he came into Clean Eatz, to our cafe, and he got grab and goes. Grab and goes are frozen meals that are readily available. We have 3 cases that have 450 meals in each of them. So there's 1,000 different options for you. He grabbed those, and for the next 2 days, he ate Clean Eatz and nothing else. He went back in to get the insulin shot. He said, "Can you take my blood sugar before you do that?" And it was back to normal.
Wow.
Now, as I said, I can't promise that for everybody because everybody's body is different in terms of how it regulates. But wow, I mean, can you believe that? Like, that's just, and it goes back to.
I actually do, because
medicine.
Yeah, it's the best concept I've ever seen in restaurant, and I rave about it with my friends, because you'll go to Chick-fil-A through the drive-through, and if you're a one person, you'll drop $10 easy, and it's like, and you got a sandwich, fries, a drink, and you're going like $10, and fried foods and French fries are not exactly the best kind of food for you, because you have to look at what you put in your body, because your body responds to the fuel that you put in it. You put fuel. It's like you'd have your car. Okay, put water in the car and see how far it goes. It doesn't go very far. So you have to put the good fuel in there if you want to go.
Yeah.
So Nancy, I promised that we would be tight today. So I want to wind it down. So tell our viewers how they can get a hold of you. Even if they want to buy a bottle of energy, they can they can get it from you, because you have it to sell.
I'm not caffeine driven either. I have 1 cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
When you love what you do, I mean, and you owe it to, I'm normal. I get up in the morning, I'm like, oh God, not today. And you know what? Once I put my feet on that tile inside the restaurant, it's like game on. My employees deserve the best of me. My customers do too. And it's the same thing when you're a family and you come home or you're with somebody. They deserve 100% of your goodness, no matter how crappy your day has been. So, you can come to 3975 Holcomb Bridge Road.
Okay.
Again, it's right at the corner of Holcomb Bridge and Weatherburn. We're at a 4-way stoplight. If for kids, we're right in we're in the front of that strip mall or across from Ace Hardware. You can give us a call at the cafe. It's Clean Eatz Norcross, 678-833-5353. You can go online to Clean Eatz, CLEANEAT with a Z.com, and just select location Norcross, Georgia. But call us up, come in. We'll give you a tour. Even if you don't want to buy anything, there's no pressure. Just come in, walk around. We'll show you what it's like, and see if it fits into your lifestyle, because we're here to help you.
I think you'll be as impressed as I am
Thank
with
you.
Not only you, but your concept. I mean, my gosh, they have to be proud of you, because you represent the brand in a very positive way. So as we finish up, what would be the one thing that you would want our viewers to take home with them today?
I think that, we're the real deal. We're not here to take your money. We're here to service you, to find things that fit into your lifestyle that make you feel better. And we're here to listen to you. That's the most important thing. Just, you've walked into a business, but we're going to treat you as friends, and we're not going to oversell you, because, if it's not something that you need, it's not worth anything.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I want to thank you, Nancy. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
I always appreciate spending time with you.
And you have a wonderful day. And thanks for our viewers. And before I go, pass this to people that you think want to hear what Nancy has to say. They're doing some wonderful things out there, but a best kept secret is never a good secret. So pass it to them, let them know what's out there, so they can enjoy what a lot of people are enjoying with
Clean Eatz is, across the country, so you can find one near you.
Awesome. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Pete.
You bet.